We've easily done like 80 to 100 cakes a day, but those are, you're thinking like special days like Valentine's Day or like Mother's Day, or if it's like a baby birth announcement, which is very trending right now. When you have a kid, send out cakes.
This is a bit more serious, but what are your current margins being an online business?
So I'd say we make like a net profit of, so compared to when I started at first, I was like, oh, there should be like no wastage, or how can I save batter, or how long can we keep a product with, that we can reuse. So one thing is consistent.
Today I'm sitting down with SARIA, founder of The Flourist. She scaled from a single $30 oven and a 40 square foot kitchen to a 20-person industrial operation generating 8 figures. All this without ever opening a physical shop. In this episode, we audit the operational reality of a cloud kitchen. We uncover the fixer mindset that saved her studio, a tour of how a professional bakery layout looks like, how she retargets her customers, and the exact pricing formula she used to finally turn a profit. She didn't start with a business strategy. She started with an obsession for quality that almost broke the bank.
Product itself was of so much value to me that I wanted to make it a certain way, and I'd be fine with, like, say, not taking a salary or counting hours. Like, I just didn't know how a business really worked. So I just wanted to create work that I was proud of. So I think that's how it started. So I'd say, like, back then, if I made a cake, I'd make like, oh, I spent X on getting all the ingredients and all the stuff for it. So I'll just charge X. That's kind of how it worked, because I didn't bill like electricity, rent, or manpower, nothing, none of that, or advertising, packaging, whatever, none of that. So from there to actually 11 years later, when we understand, we have like a whole, like, we can predict what our margins would be and etc. So we've like, it's not something that I could even think of as a, like, earlier. I think even 4 or 5 years back, I couldn't think of being here, that operating this way. It was a very vague answer.
I mean, yeah, that's okay. I mean, you've been successful for a while. You've existed for over a decade. I mean, what's the most amount of cakes you sold in a day?
Oh, we've easily done like 80 to 100 cakes a day, but those are, you're thinking like special days like Valentine's Day or like Mother's Day, or if it's like a baby birth announcement, which is very trending right now. When you have a kid, send out cakes.
I mean, this is a bit more serious, but what are your current margins being an online business?
So I'd say we make like a net profit of like 15% of all, sales. Without going into too many figures, I'd say we are comfortable with 20 employees and a small studio in the heart of Gulshan, and we survive quite well-ish still, even through all the difficult economic conditions that our country has gone through throughout like the last year or so. So we're still holding on.
Okay, let's dial it back to like the beginning of like the inception of The Flourist. Like, so you transitioned your career from journalism and advertising to baking. So what sparked your passion to become a pastry chef, and how did disappointing? I think what was the story? Like, you were disappointed with the dessert in.
It was a really dry piece.
Yeah, in Singapore. Yeah.
Well, I think that until like I tried that piece of cake and I complained about it for so long, and my friends were quick to point out, like, you're crazy, it was a piece of cake. I didn't realize that people didn't care about cake as much as I did. Okay. and then I thought, this is not normal, but I love cake and I have a lot of commentary on it. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. So it was completely like on a whim, on a rush, on a, like a sudden decision. I came back from Singapore and I stopped applying for my master's. Clearly not the most rational decision, but it worked.
But we're here. Yeah. So when you got back to Dhaka after culinary school, what was the vision for The Flourist?
Honestly, when I first came back, I think at that time you couldn't find most good quality ingredients or Even things like some like real good butter, these were missing. These are still very hard to procure, by the way. Like the kind of butter you want in a Parisian bakery. No, it's nowhere here. We make do actually. So my idea was to start as a blog. I wanted to teach people in warmer climates how to make things that the French make or things that we lust after, like croissants and any boulangerie item. That was my idea for it.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, when you started it, what was the market gap that you saw that you could fill?
So I saw that there was a lot of. Okay, I'll tell you this. So when I started, clearly there are two versions of me now. One is the artiste and one is the manager, like who looks at business, So the artiste was basically on forefront at that time, and I wanted to present artistic cakes. Like, so I paint as well. So I think I really want to merge both things, use my cake as a canvas. So early on, there were so many cakes where I did hand painted individual accents and stuff. So they would be very time consuming. So I think that was, maybe it's not something I thought about, or identified in my head, like, oh, the market doesn't needs like really niche luxury cakes or custom cakes, but it's something that sort of appealed to my aesthetic and that I wanted to put out there. So I would actually treat each cake as like a piece of art. And I was very particular when it came to taking orders because as a single person working, so I would only take limited orders. These were some of the things that I did to stand out from the market. I would not take any fondant cakes. I was like, you want that? There's someone else for it. Right. But now I'm like, fondant, yes. What do you need? Well, it's a completely different version of, and I would never want to copy any cake. Like anyone sends me a picture, I'm like, I'll do my version of it. So there were a lot of obstacles, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, okay. So, I mean, you went to Le Cordon Bleu, right? I think you did a patisserie course in 2012. I mean, how did that shape your skills and confidence?
Oh, like it blew it like, wow. Yeah. I mean, what culinary school teaches you is how to read a recipe or how to read anything. So I don't need to read all of it. I can just look at what the ingredients are. I can see what the item is, and I can gauge what would be the methods or steps to work on that. That's one. It teaches you how to read. Now, it's like reading sheet music, except that's way harder. Number two is it kind of helped me understand that you can always troubleshoot and there is usually a solution for most things. So especially like temperamental things like chocolate couverture or say macaron making or something. So it kind of gives you that confidence that most things are fixable, or you could sort of substitute, rotate. It just gives you a lot of ammo in your pocket to know, oh, like this is going wrong, like this is what I should do. Yeah, I think that really helped. But there are also things, because I learned in a French school, which was located in London, but I wanted to try out those recipes in Bangladesh with our climate. So I know that when I came back, I had to retest each recipe 9 to 10 times to get the perfect consistency or product.
All right. I mean, so do you think bakers today need some kind of professional training to start their own business?
Honestly, it's not necessary. I think also the way information travels now, it really is not necessary. There's so much, you have access to almost everything online. And, but I do think it really helps when you take very, I would say very, specific training, like you want Korean buttercream piped floral training, or you want edible, like something really specific, because these are, if you don't see by hand, if you don't see how, like you can't really tell, you need someone
Okay,
to
yeah.
show you little tips and tricks. It can even be how they hold the piping. It's just, you have to learn to see things.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, okay, when starting the Florist, I mean, how did you validate market demand and like what price points you wanted to like go into the market with?
So I think that I'm very lucky to have started when I did, because if I tried to start it the same way now, it would never work because things have just changed way too much. So when I started, I was lucky that because I started as a blog and also people knew I'd gone to Cordon Bleu, like in my network. So people were kind enough to bring business to me versus me searching for a business. So the first 5 years ish, I actually never really marketed on social media that way or anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it was very like word of mouth posted, and also social media that time was not as restrictive as it is now in terms of like they force you to boost and push content if you want any kind of reach, versus then if you were a consistent poster of things, then there was more organic reach. But I feel like the idea of organic reach is just gone based from social media.
It's yeah, it's pay to play now. I mean,
Yeah.
it's gotten seriously bad.
I
Okay, I
mean,
mean,
that's
when
how they
start
hook you in, right? Like AI would be like, we're giving you AI tools for free now. 20 years down the line, when you're really hooked, they're like, pay a subscription. And we will, because we cannot survive
yeah,
with it.
yeah, it's I mean that's a different whole different topic of how starting a new business, majority of your like marketing budgets go into like running ads. I mean, not even the business or like R&D.
Totally.
So okay, so going into like launching the online bakery in the beginning, right? So this was, I mean, in the early days of 2013. So what were the first critical steps you took to go from concept to actually accepting your first order?
So my first order act was actually kind of requested by this friend of mine who'd known that I'd come back, and he's still one of my he comes back every year for his now wife's birthday. So I think it was just that. It was just like that small push from my friend who said, "Hey, I really want to like pay you for your products. I didn't want the money." And then he's like, "No, no, I want to." And I think that's when I was like, "Wow, okay, sure." It started so small, it started so insignificant, there was like no launch. But if I talk about a launch, I would say something that was pre-planned. I would actually come back to COVID, because during COVID in Bangladesh around like March 2020, when they gave the shutdown, um, I realized what most other businesses, I just want to say, what most other businesses did was they kind of like closed up shop as soon as they could, and they paid out whatever salaries they could manage, and they closed up. I did not want to do that because I was still a very small company. I had like 4 or 5 people working for me, and I was like, I don't want to leave them out on the road. Where are they gonna go? If they don't have like a salary. So I think I looked at what I had left and what I could do the next few months, and I realized I was gonna die. Like in 2 months, my studio, I'd have to close studio, and I would actually be homeless at that point. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I know in Bangladesh it's hard to be homeless because you have so much family, etc. But I think as an individual, I would actually be homeless, like if the studio closed. So, um, so I realized the only way out of that was to triple up, because that's the only way the money would make sense, or else the money was too little. So that's when we decided to really risk it, and I really planned that. Like I got till 2020. I also want to know, I did not want to. I'm not comfortable taking other people's money unless it's for a
Yeah.
product. It's different. But like, so I really didn't want to take any loans or any investors or any partners, none of that. But 2020 was the first time I did, and I also ordered like my dream equipment from Spain. Like a
Nice.
huge like ovens and this and that, like things I've always dreamed of. And I'm like, come to me now. Took a few months, they got here. um, I
Right. I mean,
also,
so
yeah, go,
sorry,
sorry.
go ahead. Yeah, oh no. So I mean, when you started, I think it was like Facebook only. So what made you do an online only model?
Because so when I first started the first 5 years, because I was in and out of the country a lot, so I only wanted, I liked having that flexibility that I could come and start up. Obviously, that startup always took more time and effort to build up to like an order flow, whatever. But still, I was happy with that. And like I said, I didn't really operate on a full business scale. So I was thinking, bespoke studio, very limited clientele, very certain kind of aesthetic and design, and not really deviate from that too much. And also kind of, you know how a lot of new restaurants, like, they like being sold out or like booked, and people are like, we'll have
Yeah.
to try that. I didn't mean to do it. It's just I was like a one person, so I was booked out a lot. So people would order
Yeah.
like 2-3 weeks ahead, like months ahead. Thank you. Thank you. Honestly, I think that gave me so much confidence and hope. And I just want to say to those people, I was not lazy. I was a 5 a.m. girl, 5 a.m. girl to like, 12 at night. So,
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. I mean, okay, so when you started, I mean, what was the initial investment like? So, like, what resources did you start with, or capital, equipment, or even team?
um, so I started with a 3,000 taka Miyako oven. How much is that in BDT? I mean, it's like in Singaporean dollars. I don't know. It's a lot. It's like tiny.
Or,
Yeah. And
no, let's just say $30.
$30. Yeah. And that oven, I still have it. I still have it. It's just like a relic I've kept. And I had like a 40 square foot kitchen. So one person could work at a time, really. And my ex-mother-in-law was very generous. Oh, actually, my ex-husband was very generous, Zubair. He, for when I graduated from culinary school, he got me my first KitchenAid, which is what I put into the company. So that's really what I had. I had a KitchenAid, a Miyako oven, and a very small kitchen.
I mean, sometimes people need large investments, but so how did you manage costs when launching?
So because like I said, I didn't have initial investment. So every time what I would do is I would re-roll money back into whatever I was making. So that became like the rolling investment eventually added up. So I could only get like, say, products, equipment, like after a certain while. So I had to work that way. And a lot of the products I had to get from, like, say, Singapore or Malaysia. So I would just build up cash till that. So it was actually just all me, like just building up small pockets of cash to like reinvest back and put it back. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I mean, in the beginning, everyone has a lot of problems like starting up. So, what were some of your biggest hurdles in the launch phase?
Honestly, I think the biggest hurdle for a long time was delivering, or our weather and climate plays such a big part in the business. So successful delivery, and also when it comes to, I just want to go back to market gap, because I realized, even though I didn't do it consciously, but because it appealed to my aesthetic, and it just turned out that at that time these were not really available. One was the taller cakes that we see everywhere. The other one was the petite, the smaller mini size, not the bento. Bento came much later. So the smaller size. So these two unique things, all, and with my certain, say, design, hand painted, sculpted, whatever things, it just put me on a certain, you're just like, you like, so a customer would know, like, oh, this is what I can expect from this store, because they only do certain kind of things. So that drove a lot of clients back in, when they're like, oh, tall cakes, because that was still a pretty new thing. And I'm not the originator of this at all. It's just an aesthetic that appealed to me, and that I wanted to bring it into Bangladesh. And I just happened to be one of those people at that time who were working on this. And I think it's really sweet when I think back to my time then, because I always, like, because the baking community was so small, right? So we all kind of
Yeah.
knew each other. And I'm very happy to say that all those people were so kind and so good. And we were always referring each other. So it was always community over competition. And now like those pages have really blown up and they're doing really well and having children, and it's exciting. Like I'm happy that we all grew together and the industry came up here.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so when starting, okay, I don't think you use a tech stack when you're starting. I mean, do you
No.
use any now, like site payments, Bcash, Nogod? I think you started using PayPal.
We use PayPal because we've used for quite a number of years. We don't have Nogod, and I'm so sorry if Nogod CEO sees this now, because he's approached me before over a cake order and he said, "Why don't you have Nogod?" And then I realized he's the CEO of Nogod. And I did promise him I'll look into it. I just I'm so
Okay.
sorry. Please order from us. um But yeah, I think these are the payments that I still haven't done. We take, obviously we take POS payments and stuff in studio during pickup, or if you ask for it during delivery. But other than that, these are the only gateways that we use so far.
Yeah. Okay. So when you started, I mean, crafting the brand and like the unique menu. So how did you come up with the branding, and what experiences did you want to deliver to the customers?
So I used to work in advertising as a copywriter, and I used to sit right next to this guy who was a visualizer, like a graphic designer. Um, and we're all buddies, and I used to see him work, and that's how I picked up a lot of Photoshop and Illustrator skills. And so when I was, starting a business, or like, oh, even a logo at that time, I wanted to design everything by myself. So I obviously was trying to do things that I could do in my very limited knowledge. So when I look back to our first logos, I'm like, wow, it's so sad. But, I can see what I'm trying to imply, like Parisian, Paris, something, like exclusive, and little swirls with the wrought iron things that you have on streets, like
Yeah.
that's gone. That's gone because changed marketing many, many times over the years. And I think
Yeah.
that's fine. Actually, doesn't matter for a cake store, I think, personally.
So, okay, when someone's building a new bakery today or online business, how can they create a strong brand that resonates online with people?
Honestly, quality of photos and packaging. You got to focus on these two things so much. And obviously, like when you are most of our photos are actually done over iPhones or really good phones. So you should be able to get any of that. And there's so many things here now that's available, right? Like light boxes or extra lighting equipment that you can set up. You should always have like a small booth to take photos. So as for new and inspiring bakers, I would say if you can mimic your vision into like a craft board, and then kind of see, oh, these are the colors I'd like to work with, this is what I want to do. You can always be changing advertising and branding and whatever, but you got to hold true to some of the things, like like say it could come in the background, it could come in how your brand, you can have like a little sticker as a brand somewhere, like in the photo itself, kind of muted and hidden but still there. A lot of bakeries tend to, the way they brand is they will have edible sheets that are printed with, like, say, their little logo. They'll put like chocolate over it and they cut little squares out of it, so it's on every cake,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, that's very common. So that's something I considered, but I just never did, because my kits were always design heavy. So I wanted the design to shine versus like always looking the flowers, which can be
yeah,
a box or packaging. So anyone starting, I'd say look at packaging is insane, especially if you're looking at China. Honestly, nothing beats Chinese bakery packaging. Whoa, hands down. And secondly, it's yeah, your photo photography. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I get that. So, okay, when you're building out the flavors and the products, right? So, how do you develop your product lineup to balance innovation with local tastes?
So, you're talking about Dhaka. When I used to do like sea salt caramel cakes, and everyone was like, "Oh, why is there salt in this cake?" So, which is fine. Used to it. So I'm glad that, and you can see like over the years, Bangladesh has had that trend where you're like, "Oh, red velvet. And then you're like, oh, salted caramel, you know. And before that, it was Black Forest and butterscotch and mud cake, like in the 90s. You know, like these are the trending things that Bangladesh was accustomed to. But when now there are like thousands of little cake stores all over the city who give you really interesting flavor combinations. Now, for starting bakers, I'll tell you this. Vanilla is not a popular flavor in Bangladesh, but you should keep it because 30% of your clients love good vanilla cake. And everybody else likes chocolate cake. And there are sometimes they'll you like do other cakes, but they don't care. So I've put interesting flavors in my so we have like 20 flavors now. I used to have 22 before. I've revised the menu many times over the years. So I always try to keep some flavors which I know that they will go down well. Like because most clients will message and go like, I want a chocolate cake. They don't care what flavor it is, really. So you want to give them a really good chocolate cake whenever they want. So that's our, say, our malt chocolate or the Flourist special chocolate cake, which I developed while I was pregnant and eating everything.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, this combination is amazing. We should do this. I think I ate half of my studio, and then one of my managers
At the
said, AJ, we have to buy more Nutella because a jar is missing. It was with me in my bag.
Right. So, okay, your brand is mainly online. So, how can you communicate quality online to the customer? So they can trust your product without actually tasting it first.
I would say photos. And it's basically when you see a product that looks like it could be from anywhere in the world, like it, you know, like high quality, good photo, high definition product of a cake that looks international, then people automatically assume, oh, this is probably good. Also, don't price them too low because if you do, then they're like, this is probably no good because it's too cheap.
Yeah. So pricing is a main factor. Yeah, and you don't want to saturate the market with like same.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's happened a lot.
But I just want to say it happens in Bangladesh a lot. Like when there are so many home bakers who don't understand that people you buy stuff from are cheating you. And it's like this. You know how you use edible glitter on your cake, and this dream glitter cake is trending a lot. There is actually glitter that is sold in Bangladesh as edible glitter, but they just don't know it. And we can tell because we've worked with like lots of different suppliers, like local and international. So they'll sell you this glitter. You're giving this glitter on the cake. The person eating this glitter doesn't even know it's not edible. So what are you gonna do? Yeah, it's very common for
How does that
glitter.
Okay, no comment.
And the last one, it's gold foil. So there's two kind of gold foil. One is which is edible. The other one is like for crafting and furniture. So most people sell furniture one and they put it on the cakes. Okay.
I don't know. No comment on that.
No, my advice to customers would be buy from trusted stores, buy from, you know, or even the local bakeries that you're thinking of. If they're, you know, you can tell by price points because it costs a lot in Bangladesh right now when it's, you know, like imported. So when they're putting like a gold foil in like cookies and they're selling it for extra taka, you should be like a little wary. Like if it's like a box of cookies with little gold foil, that's probably not real gold foil.
I don't think they're concerned about that as long as, they don't know.
Yes, they don't know. That's the thing. They don't know. Yeah.
Okay. When you started, even now, category and positioning. So what exact niche or occasion did you try and claim in a way?
So I think when I first started, I wanted like, I was under the impression where not everyone should be able to buy this cake ish. So I was trying to, as a brand, I was trying to be like, not necessarily aspirational, but like, oh, I'm this character and only these kinds of people for these events can take my cake. It was very limited, I feel. But as I had a team and to sort of nurture and grow, I realized like I have to get out from that bubble and reach more people. So the more people we onboard, the more I realized that, you know, there are a couple of steps to marketing. So of course, there are already people who like buy our stuff. And then there are people who like kind of know about our stuff and they're kind of interested. So, give them like a little push, like, oh, like, and these people I assume are people who've like messaged us, heard a price and like walked off. So I'll go like, hey, it's the month of September. Do you know we have a coupon available for you right now? So, like if you like sort of like move them from aspiring to convert them to into my current
Yeah.
customer.
You're just
And then
poking them.
yeah, and then and now and so and also over the years, so many other bakeries, home and shop based have kind of come up to our price points, and we all kind of like charge similar-ish prices for custom cakes now. And actually, there are many places that charge higher than us. So for them, I'd say instead of just having 2,000 people who are like, oh, we can't afford this, now I hope I'm reaching out to at least 500 people and go like, here is something so you can afford it, so you can come on and try this. Because I feel like once you try it, you're usually satisfied with what the product you have, and you feel like you've gotten your money's worth, and there have been instances where, I mean, there are so many people I wish I could just give cake out to because I just like their service. And there was this one server in this Italian restaurant who's actually also an actor. And we spoke to him quite a few times. And many years down the line, he messaged me on Flourist. And he was like, oh, I don't think you recognize me. I actually served you at a restaurant. I'm like, I remember you. You were so good. I remember you. And he was like, this is my budget. I'm like, forget your budget. You can pay whatever you want. I want you to try the cake. Yeah, I wish I could do that to more people, like have them try it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, definitely. I mean, let's move on to a bit of menu engineering. This is a bit of the boring side, but this is where the margins are, right? So which 5 SKUs right now drive like 80% of your profits?
I would say, okay, so I'm trying to convert more people from their order total and pushing their order total to like from our mini cakes to our 1 kilo cakes. So that's something that I'm driving. And the other one, the fact that we can deliver in the same day, is I think another one that works well in our favor, even though it's not as highlighted as it should be. And number 3 is some of the flavors we offer are quite unique to other places. So I think that helps keep clients coming back. I would say the 4th would be the fact that we can deliver a lot fast. Oh, I wouldn't say faster, but a lot cleaner now. And I for anyone ordering a cake from us, I would actually recommend that they get a delivery because our delivery team's quite well equipped now and they're quite good. Of course, like Dhaka traffic is unpredictable, but yeah, I don't know. I think I've named like 4.
Yeah, I mean, no, yeah, that's fine. I mean, okay, so you have an extensive menu in a way, right? So how do you decide which stays and which like leaves, or or is it seasonality based?
Interesting. So I still do. I have like a set menu for the whole year, etc., and it just goes on. Usually, I will take flavors out depending on how popular they or like how they did the whole year. So, but there's like a flavor, say like peppermint, and I've had one order for it in one whole year, but it was a big order, and interestingly, it was an embassy order, so no one local ordered it. So I understand it's a problem is because they have never tried a flavor like that, a mint chocolate cake or something like that. So that's sorry, tell me again, what was the question? I lost my train of thought.
Like, how do you decide which of your like menu items stay and which you
right.
kill?
I don't usually want to kill them, and but there have been so many products I like that I thought of and I launched and they didn't really take off, so I shelved them. But I want to like reuse them and at another time. Like I have this thing about like cake bars, and so we'd only do like like slices of cake, but with like very little frosting, and that was really for people who wanted to have something sweet but didn't want to like die of like, you know, sure. You don't die. It's delicious. What are you saying? Um, so I think usually I'll take it off if it doesn't work very well. But I did read, so a very interesting thing. I don't know if you'll agree. I did read that. So there's this bakery. What they used to do is they would have one, like from start to finish in a day, they would bake things in batches. So, but they didn't really announce what was being baked when. So anytime someone
Oh,
would go in, yeah, I know you would think like that doesn't sound good, but like someone would go in and they'd be like, "Wow, this is new. Is this new?" So they had like seasonal menus, and they had like timed menus daily. So anytime you went in, it was kind of new, but it wasn't new for the chefs. It wasn't new for the customers.
oh no, I feel that. It's like you're doing seasonality just within the day in different time frames.
Yeah, all the time over the year. So any customer who goes in March, when he goes in September, another time, he does. They're probably still making the same product, but at a different time. So he's not seeing it. It's
That
in
is
Sweden.
clever. That's clever.
Yeah, it's in Sweden, Stockholm, this bakery, and I was just reading their case study, and I thought, wow, that's interesting. So I've actually considering adding some seasonal menus, which I do from time to time, but being more creative with it and being better, I guess.
I mean, that's form of marketing, right? I mean, let's go into a bit of like the marketing and growth strategies that you've
Yeah.
like gone through. All right. So in the early days, like how did you use Facebook and later Instagram to showcase your cakes?
I think the first early days, I used it as a lookbook. But if I was gonna talk about real growth, I think the first one that first real like organized growth or whatever you want to call it was tripling the studio and the team and basically everything. B was when we realized we needed to have our in-house like own delivery system because it's just not working. And over the years, I tried many things, many innovations, which were not very innovating. So like we had to scrap them all, but we finally have something that works. So yeah, I think in the early days, well, actually, when it comes to marketing now, and I see, like when I see, look at the creators, like it now, actually, the marketing has changed so much. You can't just have a pretty picture anymore because that's not enough. You have to show your craft. So I think the smartest way is to show from the effort that takes to build one thing to the like from zero to finish. So the audience kind of feels like, A, this is not just marketing because I'm learning something. I'm getting some. And B is, they kind of, I don't know. I don't know if this really works on their psyche, but I feel like they feel like I'm getting more than my money's worth because I'm seeing she's revealing her tips and tricks to me, and
Yeah.
yeah, on a chef's perspective is like, oh, I'm giving this part away. But just because you show someone that this is how you can make it doesn't mean that end up making it. They probably remember that if it's an innovative enough trick and they will come back and order it from you. So I would encourage
Yeah,
more
definitely.
creators to walk that path. That it looks like that is the path that will help you when AI does take over fully. Because you're able to perform all tasks and create something.
Yeah. I mean, not to go too sidetracked. I mean, a lot of like the clients I'm working with now, like it's AI heavy. Like a lot of the UGCs that we work on and the initial hook that we want to do, like very crazy hooks, we had to shoot them before, like breaking the plates, throwing stuff against the wall, or like something to like for the hook part of the video. It was too expensive. So now with AI, like
Yeah.
DO3, like the 8-second videos, you just like generate something for 20 cents and you can get amazing results for your brand. And
Yeah.
I think they're going to blow up through this.
I think people are shifting to that, and that's totally fine. I think when I was thinking about it before, before we had like computers and phones, like well, like actually when it was introduced to us, I think everyone was skeptical. They're like, what are we gonna do with the phone or this internet, whatever. And now see how it has like sort of shaped our lives, but also we cannot live without it, etc. The same thing will happen with AI, clearly. So all those creators who are like, learn all AI skills, they're right. Like learn it was free. like learn it now. You're gonna pay for it
So,
soon.
okay, so I mean, the Florist has had. I mean, you've been around for a while, so you've managed to grow both your Instagram and Facebook to a pretty large number. So, what's been your approach to growing your followers and turning them into customers?
So I think so. There's something that I started doing offline. That helps me retarget customers, and that is because I have data from like many years back, like who's taken what. So I have the customers database ish. Like so what we started doing is like say in 2024 you ordered a cake from us today. So like a week before today, I'd be like, hey Kazi, how's it going? We see your birthday coming up. I want to order another cake. So I know that this takes a lot of effort from my on my team where they have to go like, oh, this person ordered this for a birthday, or like, we have to guess a lot of those details. Obviously, clients don't tell us everything, but I think that has brought in some good results. So I do the same retargeting on online as well, where not necessarily going by person, but to everyone who's engaged. And I always refresh my audiences just to see if I've included more people who's view my videos, or like who only like my page on Facebook, or the kind of different audiences you create and add on. And I'm also
Yeah,
created like like a client database sheet so I can upload and target more clients of similar say, demographics, habits, etc. I do from time to time uh retarget or like target like NRBs, like non-resident Bangladeshis, because I feel like they do order and we process payments globally. It's not an issue. So those are kind of things that I try to keep in check when I'm trying to find more audiences. But my biggest audience, and I haven't been able to fully tap into them, are people who inquire prices and walk away. So usually we put a flag on them so that in 2 months' time we can go like, hey, do you want a cake now? Here's a coupon, right? Because so far online, a coupon is like really the best I can offer to like get you to buy
discount.
a product. Yeah. So
I
try
mean,
a
have you tried? I mean, right now you're doing it still manually. You should look into like AI agents like Lindy or Gumloop. They automate all of this for you. You
yeah.
don't need humans in. Yeah,
Well, I
it's a
did
lot
try a
quicker. It's
Sintra. Have you tried Sintra?
no, I haven't tried that. I usually use
Tell me,
N8N, Lindsay, or Gumloop.
Gumble. I'm gonna write this
I
down.
know.
Lindsay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Lindsay is the easy one.
Mhm.
Sorry, no, not Lindsay. Lindy, Lindy. Lindy, and then another easy one would be like Gumloop.
Gumloop. Okay, got it.
Yeah, these two. Yeah, like Lindy is quite. Lindy already builds you the templates for what you just said. You can just use your template and plug in all your socials and all your messages, and it'll just do it. Like you can get it up and running within the hour,
Oh wow. Cool.
and no humans involved. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah.
sidetracked.
I mean, not to hate on us, but the problem with human error is that it exists. So I would like
Yeah, I mean
accept
it's a lot of data for humans to go through. I mean something like
this.
you've been around for like a decade, right? So I mean no humans are gonna keep track of that. You
Yeah.
need a couple of humans, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's moving on to like community building. So you've built a community of dessert lovers. Like how do you keep them engaged?
Um, so I would say honestly, to keep them engaged, we should be doing things a certain way, but I agree that we don't necessarily do all of those things. For engagement. I know that posts or our content needs to be way more interactive. We haven't gone there only because the I feel like we're still doing okay, but that is something that I'm exploring, like more interactive content with my clients. I think it always really helps if clients can put a face to the name, even if it's a company. So I understand that my social presence would really help further, say, build trust or sort of solidify where we are. And remind my customers that I'm still here, the Flourist is still here, and we operate on a professional level, like those things. So that is, again, something that we're working on through like a YouTube channel and videos and content, sort of teaching content, more or less. And I think that when it comes to, you know, the Flourist operating at this scale now, we just honestly, it's not like we have to do a lot of new things. We just have to be really good at what we're doing right now. So responding quicker and having little checks for clients. And these actually I learned from a lot of trial and error. Like, you know, I'll tell you a really small one. One issue was if a cake would break, and it could be during delivery or during pickup. So if a cake breaks during delivery, we have this check that when right before the delivery man hands over with a timestamp, he needs to take a photo that this person is accepting the cake and it's intact, basically. So that saved us a lot of back and forth with lots of clients, because the cake can break at any point. But if we can show that at this point we've covered our tracks, we're good. And of course, other things that I wish we sort of onboard better is maybe have different. I've considered that, like have little hubs of pickup points throughout the city. But again, like why do we operate online? Is because I think I've never really had much confidence in having like an outlet and then hoping that it operates without human error, because I feel like it would expose me to more complaints, whereas this is more controlled and we know that the quality of the products are the way they should be. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Sorry.
You run
Sidetracking.
3 branches
Fucking
of, for the tacos, right? Like doesn't it open up more room for
error.
humans and also error? Yeah. So that's,
I mean, yeah, it's fucking quality control.
yeah. And
You
you
just
can
have to
have many
hire
measures
very
in place.
competent.
Yeah, you can have
Yeah, it
many
doesn't work.
measures in place, but human error is human error, so.
Moving on to like our from the press and publicity side of things. I mean, you've been featured a number of times in media, newspapers. I mean, it's like all over your website. It's like fucking amazing over the years, right? So how did those features come about, and what impact did it have like on your business?
100% positive. Publicity always gets you places. And I can happily say that we have never had to pay for any kind of coverage. That's, it's not something I would brag about before, but after a certain paper contacted me for an interview, that I've given them interview before, by the way, and then on the reply email told me how much I have to pay for my interview, I thought, maybe not. Don't do that to me. So a lot of them, honestly, I was lucky at the time that I was doing what I was doing at the time. And it did help that I was from advertising. So I guess it did help me when I would think about how to say write about my products or write a certain thing. I think also I'm happy to say that I did some really small things, maybe like, they were just unique at the time. Like we had a pop-up store. Nobody in Dhaka really had a pop-up store at that time. It was with Urban Truth. So every Friday we would be there. And I can say that behind that, it was just me and like 2 other people. And I remember when my mom walked in and she saw me sweeping the floor and she was just like shocked. But I'm like, I don't care. It's my place. It's got to be spotless. And I know how to do that. I'm happy to mop and clean any space. I don't care. You could be a CEO. It doesn't matter. Your baby is your baby. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so should more smaller businesses actively like seek PR?
Yes, but I mean, I would say you should seek interesting and unique avenues to expose yourself to. So at that time, it was pop-ups. At a certain time, it was, going to different interesting hipster fairs, or it could be, I don't know, Taka Flow, like get a store there or in one of their events, or well, actually, it's probably Chef's Table now. If you want a storefront, you could do a pop up in like a place like that. I think that would work really, really well. Um, but I think you should probably try not to pay for advertisement, only because it kind of dilutes your authenticity. So if you can avoid that pitfall, great. If you can't and you still feel like you need some kind of course, if you, people start businesses very differently, right? They start with like a huge capital investment. They start with really planning it out. And, hats off to those people. I didn't have access to the cash, so I couldn't do it like that. But if I did, that's how I would love to start a business. Ton of cash, like a whole, equipped kitchen and great marketing budget. But honestly, my first marketing budget was $50 a month, and that was still a lot for me. And now from that to doing almost like 2,000-3,000, like, that's a really big bump for a small company like ours.
Yeah, it's a drastic up.
I just want to say
Like,
one thing. I don't know which segment you want to put it in, but I just want to say, like, over the years, like when I started making, like, seeing growth, at a certain point, I think in 2023, I thought, oh, maybe this is the most you can squeeze out of like an online store. Maybe this is the most you can get out of that. I was proven wrong. And I think that advertising had to do a lot with it. Just because I advertised more, I pushed my advertising budget like by 25%, and I really saw an increase in sales by at least 35%. So that's great.
yeah, that's drastic difference. Yeah, I'll double down on that. I have a similar story. When we launched Taco, after I invested, right? I mean, the max the last person did at that location was around like $30,000 a month, right? So for us, I mean, when we were there, just the first month it was $7,000, seven.
Yeah.
Then it was like, okay, maybe like 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm like, oh, we'll hit $30,000 in maybe like month 10 or 12.
Okay.
That's what, that was the thing.
Projection.
We hit, but we hit $30,000 in month 3, not even. By month 4, it was already like hitting 66.
Wow.
And then the first like year, I don't remember, like 15, 16 months, we hit like 118,000. That was just that's one location, not all 3 together.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
So, but going back on it, it was literally the marketing. It was like finding out what works and then keep doubling down. And people are afraid to run ads, but you shouldn't be afraid of ads.
Well, no,
like
no.
at peak, people still are. It's like, oh, why am I running ads when I'm like losing money on the ads to make more money? I was like,
that's not the point.
If you run good ads, you can make 30, 40 times more than what you spent on the ad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, people don't use that logic until,
But I mean, there must be like a limit for, like, say, I mean, that's what I always think. Like, there must be a limit that you get saturated, like you maximize, like.
There is a limit to how many you can, but that's dependent on how big your location and your staff and then the equipment is. True. Like literally, if you have a factory, I mean, I don't think that's just a limit. Yeah. I mean, it's a factory. As long as you can keep the marketing up to meet those
standards, yeah.
I mean, you're good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, going into like the creativity side of things, I mean, you're consistently coming up with new mouth-watering like cakes, salted caramel and whatnot. My mom loves your like vanilla. Was it vanilla chocolate and something else?
I think it's the birthday cake, no?
Yeah, was it? I forgot what it is. But she loves your stuff.
So glad.
So okay, where do you find inspiration for new cake designs and like marketing ideas?
Honestly, I watch what's happening globally, and there's a lot of things that I will try. Like I do a lot of R&D myself. So but there are a lot of cakes that I know that even if I run R&D, like I can't actually sell this product in Bangladesh. So one very successful R&D I did recently is a chocolate cherry cake it was incredible. And I tried it. I tried like a couple of different variations of it. And I realized what really makes it come together are fresh cherries and cherry jam that you make from scratch, right? Like a cherry coulis. So, again, these things I can't make in Dhaka or even start because I'll have to use something pre-made like a cherry filling, cherry jam filling, etc., which wouldn't actually it won't it's great, but it's not the best. So when it comes to my creative side, I always think of what is something that will work. So and usually we do like we launch new products around Eid-ish or like Christmas or Mother's Day, like a flavor. So for one Mother's Day, I wanted something really nostalgic, and I love like dry cake. You dip dry cake in your tea and you eat it. I don't know if you've done that. I used to love that. So I wanted to have that kind of like a tea cake. So that's the flavor I launched just for that Mother's Day. And I think we did like a laddu cheesecake, and we did like another dry cake spin this Eid, and we called it like milk tea cake. It was amazing. I cannot tell you how good it is. Like every time I eat it, I'm like, wow, what is this? So it's like a tiramisu without alcohol. I know that sounds sad. Tiramisu without alcohol, but it's with like milk tea, and it's using the dry cake bits that we make in house. It's incredible, and it's finished with a little bit of pistachio. So
Is it still on the menu right now?
It is not on the menu right now. It gets added. It's an add-on. But if you want to order it, just tell them they'll make it.
Okay, yes, please. I mean, okay, so how does like seasonal themes or like trending topics, add to your content calendar, like food-wise?
I try to add them seasonally, but other than that, there are a lot of trends that I tend to sit out on. I think one of those was the Dubai chocolate cake. And the reason for that was there was just too many people doing it. I just didn't want to do it. It's just like, no. Didn't, yeah. And also, I really like it. It's really delicious. I just never ended up doing it. Yeah, sorry.
I mean, no comment. It kind of looked gross to me. I mean, it was like, at first I thought it was like avocado in the chocolate. I was like, that's disgusting. But whatever, not putting that in my mouth. I'm okay. Let's move on to like funnels and funnels that convert. So which channels right now, are actually producing like paying customers?
Facebook. And Instagram is for aspirational customers.
Oh, surprising. What about TikTok?
So we are on TikTok. I have actually advertised on TikTok and it did well, but it doesn't generate any sales because of who is watching the content. So TikTok is just there because it's there, but it's, if I had to cut a platform out, it'd be TikTok. No offense.
Oh, no. But for us, it's like, for us, what I mean for us is like around 13 to 15 restaurants that I work with, TikTok first.
Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram is like secondary. We use TikTok for testing. So we A/B test like massive amounts of content, right? To see what works. So that's like the most organically, that'll hit the highest, the quickest, versus Instagram Reels is starting to do that recently. But like for the past couple of years, it's literally been TikTok. Like you go on there, you test, you see what works, and then bring it over to Facebook and Instagram and then run the ads into your product page.
Wow, now you tell me, I totally want to try it. But I think it's just that the TikTok audience in Bangladesh is not my preferred audience. So I think I've found that the data is incorrect.
Skewed. Makes sense. I mean, do you know your CAC by channel or like site conversion rate? The customer acquisition costs?
No, no, I don't.
That's fine. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, so for your brand, how do you build a content funnel?
So recently I started doing like this year, actually, a couple of months back, I sat down and I created like a yearly calendar. So this is where I want to put in what's throughout the year. It's broken down like week by week. So I have themes and certain posts to go with. So that's also where it helps me identify like, oh, this is a good time to push this flavor launch or do that. Like say we have like a big month coming up in October because it's Halloween. And we love doing Halloween shoots and launching. So this is we'll probably launch like a new flavor. Oh, I remember one Poila Boishek, like a Bengali New Year. I launched this cake, which was gorgeous. It was inside like it was like Tic Tac cross-checked inside, like red and white. It was just really cute. Again, one product that made me like pretty popular at that time. This was way back 2015 or something. So yeah, that was a good one. I forgot about that. Sorry, I'm just sidetracking to products. So ask me again.
Like, how do you build your content funnel?
Oh yeah, through this yearly calendar thing. So like say we've built the whole thing for September. We're working on the October when we can schedule everything. I think that is the smartest way for any business to move forward. I wish I'd done it earlier. Helps me track when which group on which food group on Facebook will have a post on which date. Like I have everything, so I'm happy to see that, and it helps you
Oh, nice.
plan better. Yeah.
But, I mean, so content that sells. Okay, what content formats move the most revenue for you right now?
All right. So for now, I think our so I started pushing content in like pushing one ad in different ways. Like I want the same ad to have say like a group of photo, like a carousel, and then say a review, and also have some kind of video attached to it, so they're all under the ad sets. So I feel like that helps me target the same customer, because I know Facebook does it. Like they show the same person 6 things and charge you 6 times. So I feel like at least they get the relevant information, the still pictures, the reviews, to see it in, and the video. That's kind of
Do
my.
you but do you know which one kind of drives the most revenue? Like
I would
most likely the
honestly,
videos, I'm guessing.
you know,
Or
you
no?
would think it's the videos, but I think it's actually not the videos. I think it's the carousel that really gets it more people.
Okay, interesting.
Maybe
I mean,
because
for us,
it
it's
was a lookbook, right?
could be carousels. I mean, carousels, when we run ads on them, they don't really convert as well. Versus like you can give out more information with the UGC, and you can work with like the hook format.
Hmm.
I mean, we break down all of our UGCs with like ADA, copywriting. It's copywriting technique, attention, interest, desire, then action. I
Oh,
mean, with that, if you build it into your UGCs, they perform
okay.
extremely better. Yeah. I mean, okay. So we're moving into like retention.
Mhm.
So how do you increase your repeat rate, like like the repeat sales, or like the average order frequency?
Right. So the way we do that is a little manual, because I think we each manager has like a sheet of repeat customers that gets in through them, like through their WhatsApp, or they've dealt with this client, however. So all managers are all our managers are requested to reach out to these clients or certain B2B clients every couple of weeks. Like, oh, we have something new, we have something this, we're offering this. And obviously sort of say we kind of know that this person is a return client, we give something sweet, like an add-on. So I feel like this special treatment that you get from a company who remembers your name, your address, your whatever, but it feels like a human being, not a bot. I think that's really important. So even though we have to do these manually, I think that's how we can get more clients to come back. And the thing I do where I go back 23, 24, 22 clients, and I go like, hey, your birthday's coming up, friend. So that makes people feel special. That really does. So even if you don't remember for a year, you're like, hey, they kind of remember my birthday. Like, not many people do that. Idea was by my husband. this idea for
Okay.
retargeting yearly. And he was like, wait a minute, I have a great idea. And all my business
Birthdays?
acumen is from this, well, not this man, because that's a goat, but from my husband.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's fine. Omit.
Of it, yeah.
Take all the credit. Uh, I got you. Okay, I mean, let's break down some of the operations and logistics of an online like bakery, right?
Okay.
So, baking at scale. So how do you manage the baking process now compared to when you started?
So compared to when I started at first, I was like, oh, there should be like no wastage, or how can I save batter, or how long can we keep a product with, that we can reuse. So one thing is consistent. We still don't use any preservatives. So everything actually has to be made fresh because it just goes bad otherwise. And so but in terms of scaling now, because we understand that we have like a certain level of product demand. So we usually bake, because our ovens are scaled to bake, like 60 cakes every time, right? But we're obviously baking way lower. So I try to make sure that every day what's produced, it's packaged and labeled, and it comes under like our inventory. Like we know this layer, we have this many, like this layer, this size, we have this many. So, and we try to cap it in a way that it will the sponges will get used up within the next, by today or by tomorrow. So that's like our goal. It's same with like different batches of frosting. So even because we've grown as a company, we would use like a 7-liter frosting bowl to make maybe 4 kilos of frosting. But now we obviously use like a 20 and a 40 kilo to do frosting. But again, because of the, amount of cakes we make, it gets used up. So we are always very careful, because you can tell if something's gone bad because we don't use any preservatives at all. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
basically our main goal. Oh, another thing I do in terms of scaling that I've taught my team to do is sort of scale and weigh out certain dry ingredients. So it makes the process very, very much quicker when you're just like
Yeah.
pulling it in. Yeah.
Yeah. We used to have everything baggied up into like multiple different bags, into like the bigger bags for like throughout the week. Just pop it open and just like it's already pre-weighed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely. It
Okay,
saves so much time. I used to work like that as an individual as well. Yeah.
Okay, so what does your current like kitchen setup look like?
So I have a separate hot kitchen and a cold kitchen, and a very separate room for only packaging materials, a separate room just for mixing, because it splatters and it's usually a little messy and you need a lot of space and no one else. And another separate space just for our cleanups, because everything needs to get cleaned out before each use. So even if we have like say 60 molds for the same cake size, those need to get cleaned out really quickly so we can do the next batch. So my hot kitchen consists of all, obviously, like the mixing, the hot kitchen, and the cleaning. These are on one side of our studio. The other side will have a setup just for clients. And then we have our packaging room on one side and our cold kitchen, and our packaging room also includes our in-house photo studio. So, the clients are always in the middle in the client service room. Hot kitchen, cold kitchen. Cold kitchen has all displays and all working stations. So when you walk in, and actually you cannot walk in there, not with shoes or without hairnets or anything. It's so only staff is allowed there. So you'll only be navigated throughout the, ones that are open. And usually we have like a fondant station in our cold room. So that's when there's like a really comfortable chair, because the person who sits there doesn't get up the whole day. So that's our fondant booth. There's our macaron booth. And we have like a line of chefs finishing cakes. So that's like our cake stacking finishing booth. Yeah.
I mean, what about equipment?
Oh, the equipments are spread out. Like in the hot kitchen, the equipments are there. In our cold kitchen, the equipments that you would need for finishing, storing, stacking, all of those, like our fridges. So if you want to go in depth, yeah, we have like say pizza oven style deck ovens, like we have two of those. We have another larger oven. We have a proofer that helps us proof over 100 buns. One thing actually, I'll come back to this. A few things that I think that make us really unique still in the market. I'll come back to that. So when we come back to the cold kitchen, we have what, like three just freezer, normal room temperature, or not room temperature, refrigerators, like large double doored, and we have a couple of beverage fridges. The beverage fridges are basically where we keep only fully finished, like they're gonna go right now, cakes. And we have a couple of under the counter chillers that helps with all macaroon eclair settings, or even towers, which are like croquembouche or eclair or macaroon towers. Those get chilled on those areas. We have a whole like wardrobe full of just like sprinkles or like food color, or you just open it, it's just like full of things like that, toppers, sprinkles, like colors, everything you can think of. It's just there. And we work with a couple of companies. So one of the things that I do outsource here are all our printing and our edible printing. So we work with them so they kind of come in-house. So that's something I don't have in-house. And our packaging room holds most of our packaging equipment, like, which is basically actually there's mostly shelves. And because we do a lot of gifts as well, so we have like ribbons, wrapping paper, flowers, like everything you can think of that you would need for a custom bouquet or something. Yeah.
All right. I mean, that sounds like a lot. I mean, so what should home bakers know about scaling up their production capacity?
Sometimes it's the same recipe that you've done and you just doubling up. It just doesn't work that way, especially when it comes to buttercream. So I would say here's a two really great tips. One is and these are buttercream based, which is very difficult in our climate. So one is if your buttercream is going bad, like it's just sort of being runny, add little chunks of ice while it's whipping. It'll stabilize it. Number two, if it is getting curdled, as in what this actually means is the temperature of the butter and the butter you're adding to the eggs are too hot. Because I'm talking about Swiss meringue buttercream, by the way, which is cooked on a stove and then brought in and butter is added. So if your buttercream is getting curdled, then use a hair dryer outside of the bowl while you're whisking. It kind of brings the temperature down. So very small things, I would say, for small home bakers, like when you're scaling up, try that batch a couple of times, see what stabilizes and what goes wrong, because so many things can go wrong. And especially it happens when it comes to frostings and buttercreams. Another buttercream quick tip is if your buttercream is really, really curdled and it's really not coming together, becoming smooth, silky, like no air bubbles, by the way, that is the perfect buttercream, no air bubbles. So then you take 1/4 of your mixture, heat it in the microwave, 10 seconds to 15 seconds, that's it. And then you add it back in a very thin stream and it brings it all together. I know this is not a thing for that, but I feel like people really struggle with buttercream. So just wanted to put this out there.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that. Interesting. I mean, great tip.
Actually, I've been thinking of doing a YouTube channel, and what I really want to focus is on trial and error, like on tips on how to fix things. Because everyone shows you how to bake stuff, but you got to know how to fix your stuff.
Right? Yeah, definitely. Like over whipping the cream.
Yeah.
Like, do you know how to fix that?
Over whip the cream? No, there is unfortunately some things you can't come back from.
Yeah, you can. You can put it on like a bain marie or like slightly overheat.
Oh yeah. You can re-staple
softens it.
that. Oh, I thought sometimes when you curdle it so much and you try to
not into butter. Yeah, it's not coming back.
then the water separates.
Yeah, the water it's already split out. Yeah,
Then you're just like new batch.
Nope.
Sometimes.
We're making butter tonight. No, as in the over whipping. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So,
Oh, I thought what? Then I'm like, oh, you're joking.
no, no, the whipping, the whipping. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Never mind. Okay. Ingredient sourcing. This is a bit of a touchy subject in this. I mean, this country. So, I mean, what strategies or relationships have you have been crucial for securing like the best ingredients consistently?
So now we're comfortable-ish when it comes to ingredients. 3 years back, I was, I understood that so like I said, like there is a market, so people bring in stuff. A lot of it is fake. A lot of it is not real or just really poor quality. They're saying this is high quality, but like, I mean, Bluebell is not the highest quality of chocolate, but it's treated as like that by many local bakeries or local bakers. Anyway, no offense to Bluebell. Okay. So there was after contacting a lot of other bakeries and companies, I realized, oh, there is one supplier that I want to get on. And when I reached out to them, they were like, oh, you're too small. Like, we can't take you on. You don't have the orders. And probably because they supply to like all the large hotels in Bangladesh, right? So they put me on a wait list for 2 months, and they said they will see if my business has enough, I don't know, I guess acumen to if be on their list. And after 2 months, they said yes. So all I can say is I like to be on their good books, and getting on their list, proving my worth to them took 2 months. And a lot of active pursuing on my part, where I sort of had to give my word and say these are the kind of things I will be taking going forth, et cetera, et cetera. Of course, they make concessions, but so maintaining my relationship with them was like really helped me stabilize a lot. But even working with big companies like them, I don't think I should say their names because I don't know how their marketing works. They're really picky. So I just, like very basic things like the market is really suffering from a cream cheese loss. I would actually ask for anyone watching who is a genuine entrepreneur, you should supply cream cheese to bakers in Bangladesh. This is something I've totally considered. Yeah, like there is a huge gap. Not just that, there's really high quality ingredients are missing still. So and it's brought in on smaller, very smaller, say like really high end restaurants. Like there's a group of really high end restaurants. They bring in their own stuff. I'll tell you about it off camera. But the suppliers don't even know what is good. You see, they don't understand what is the industry, what should be the industry level. So that's one issue. And anyone, if you're bringing in cream cheese, contact us.
I mean, it's literally just like you split the milk and you just like blend it. That's cream cheese.
Oh, no. So I have made it in-house. Believe me, there was such a problem in the middle. Made it in-house. I tried to sell it again using no preservatives. It would not last, and it did not taste like industrialized.
Right. Let's talk about when you're scaling up, team's really important, right? So looking at first hires, at what point did you realize you needed to bring on help? Who were your first team members in the beginning?
My first hire is still with me, and he is my head of kitchen now. He started as my assistant, and I think what really stopped me from hiring people was I was thinking, how do I explain my aesthetics? That kind of stuff. And I realized the only way you can train someone on aesthetics is by exposing them as much as possible to the certain aesthetic that you want. So even now, I send like tutorials or photos to my team just so that they see what's trending, what's happening, what's happening. And sometimes we sit and watch like little videos of how a cake is made, how a trick is done. So that's one thing. And I send them to different, you remember I was telling new bakers should seek out very precise skills. So I've sent different people for very different things to precise places. Go learn piping, go learn this. You need help, like those kind of stuff. So my team gets training from time to time. Also, they're instructed to do it at the studio, like especially when it comes to piping practice. So interestingly, a lot of my team members who say they're in delivery, they know a lot of fun and work. Because I'm like, don't sit there, learn the skill. It's free, learn it.
Yeah, definitely. I
Same.
mean, it's good. It's good for that one person to be just not, how you say, be like a specialist, but more of a generalist. So
Yeah.
you can help out everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so when you're hiring, like, what are you looking for so they meet the quality and standards of the florist?
So depends on, so I have 3 departments. So I look which department am I hiring in. So I have my client service and say marketing. Marketing is basically me. That's client service. Then there's kitchen. Then there's delivery and logistics. So my first hire, when he started working with me, I would only delegate smaller tasks to him, obviously. And then as he trained, I realized, oh, he can look at the kitchen more or less on his own as we hired more people. So I can like focus my energy on client service so I can bring in more business so he gets proper work. It's kind of how it worked. So what I do now for actually retaining these 3 teams and hoping that they all collaborate and work and do the thing that they're asked to do, right? I've identified 3 people, 1 person in each team who I value, and they're all managers, and they're tasked with obviously arranging looking after their own team, and they get certain incentives. And as someone, so this is a question I get asked a lot about: how do I run a business which is like creative, like a baseball cake studio, but I run it from like 1,000 miles away in another country? How am I doing that now? And that's really because each process, there are checks for everyone, including my managers. Because human error or human nature, you can never rule out. But there should be a check for each and every person getting in. So I might be late to the game, like because I'm 11 years in and I'm still like developing small systems, but I'm always happy to, if whatever works, what will work, I'm happy to adapt that. So I would say, A, I'm adaptable. B, I really, really tell them that, the idea is to we all make money, not just like me make money. So I try to give them those benefits, even if, and I'm very, very strict about that. I'm just like, even if I'm not making anything, like their work or their livelihood cannot be hampered. And I wish more employers would take that, take their employees and their well-being so personally, because, I feel personally responsible, and I feel a lot of guilt when I'm not being able to meet what they need. So these things, and this is one thing about like salaries and bonuses and little bumps, holidays. I try to not micromanage, but I try to be there when any one person needs me. And I think going forward, I do have some ideas for expansion. So I know that these 3 people will be key. So every couple of months I see, because of human nature, except for my kitchen team and sort of delivery team, I see like I have to make some kind of change somewhere. Something is happening all the time. So yeah.
Right. I got that. I mean, okay. Financials and like the business model of it.
Right.
So, I mean, let's go into like pricing strategy. You're more focused on premium customers, right? So
Yeah.
how do you set prices for your products?
So after all costs are done, I try to keep like a certain margin. So like say cost of goods, and then based on that, what it is, and then all the other expenses out, and then I see where I land. So for every recipe now, I have a breakdown, and I encourage any new founder to do this in the food business. Break down all your recipes, weigh out the final product before you put it in the oven, weigh it out after it comes out. And so I from a batch, I can say it makes this many cupcakes, this many layers of each cake. So that kind of helps me price it. Like, oh, so to make a chocolate cake, three-tiered mini chocolate cake, I need X amount. And then to decorate or like other frostings, X amount. And then add on to packaging, marketing, all of those little costs. And then I add like a minimum like a 20% to 30 to 20%, like add on. So that's how I price it now. So I'm very strategic that way now. But a lot of things, like I wish I'd started this when I had started the business. I feel like it would make me understand pricing a lot better, a lot faster.
Right. Okay. I mean, sorry. This is, I mean, not in the thing, but do you practice menu engineering a lot?
Uh, Not really. I should. I practice. I mean, I fix or redo menus. I think every year. So that's when I see what went wrong in the last one and what I can do better.
Okay.
Yeah, but and sometimes I switch out a lot of things, and sometimes it pays off. Usually it doesn't. Yeah.
I mean, okay, that's interesting. I mean, people, I mean, in restaurants, I think it's completely different. I mean,
Yeah.
when you're building a restaurant, it's like you do menu engineering like every week to see like which ones are like performing well versus which ones aren't, or which ones are the contributed margins are higher, or like which ones are less. So you can kill things quicker. I think
Yeah.
it could be a bit different with direct consumer brands. Okay, so I mean, about managing costs. So, what are the biggest costs in running an online bakery, and how do you keep them under control without compromising any of the quality?
It's marketing. That is my largest, I think. And marketing is not just Facebook marketing, right? You could be like shooting videos. You could be, sponsoring something, all of those. So marketing is, I think, primarily, it's like something you can control, like you have to like market. And the second one, I suppose it's rent. In Bangladesh, it's really rent. And that rent is actually what keeps me away from actually putting in like a store, because the areas I would like to put on a store where my clients basically reside, you can't touch any of the buildings. Like it's crazy. Like you have to, if you want to survive with a store in that location, you have to come in with a lot of money just to survive. So, and I get one question a lot about a certain competitor who does have like a couple of outlets, and everyone's like, how did they do it? Like they just came in. And I'm just like, well, my friend, they came with money. I came with talent. They don't make the cakes. They got people make. I made all the cakes like a dumbs. I cleaned my kitchen like a dumbs. But it's just, these are the cards I was dealt with, and I think I did. I think I played it pretty well.
Yeah, you're winning. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, the ones unnamed. I mean, I've had their cakes. I mean, they're okay, but like I don't know if I'm going back to them.
Oh, I mean, I personally like them. I actually really like them. I would go back, but I would say like, if you didn't have other businesses to back that front, it would be really hard, because then you're looking
Yeah.
at your initial investment, you have to make it back. So you're thinking years.
Yeah, they're not looking at the break even, like the general like 18-month factor.
No.
They're just like, oh, I'm gonna leave it here for 5 years. Let's see what happens.
I think that's also like there are other factors that probably contribute, because when you're making money in one place, it's okay if you're losing money elsewhere, because you are also where different kinds of money make different kinds of things roll around. So where's this money from? All of those.
Yeah, I mean, no comment. I mean,
I love that
sorry,
after commenting,
I'm
you're like, no comments.
no comment. Well, my comment on okay, look, I'm a former pastry chef. I've worked with Michelin star chefs. I worked with Michelin star restaurants as a pastry chef. Ran my own fucking section. I'm telling you, their cakes aren't all that.
This should be your opening. This should be your opening. Yeah. That's it. That's the whole thing. That's the whole. I just saw it in real time.
I I do not want the egotistical side of me to be the fucking hook. Like I
Haven't you
try to
seen
keep
Sam
that side
from
of me
Diary of a
just in.
CEO? Haven't you seen Sam? Like he's bragging, but it doesn't sound.
Moving, sorry, I'm just trying to sidetracking. That's like a venting moment. Right.
On it.
Right. Revenue streams. So is your revenue stream only from individual cake orders, or have you diversified? It's like B2B, like the corporate side of things and like event partnerships.
So we have a few event partners, some couple of like companies who only focus on, say, doing weddings or birthdays. So we're on their list for as vendors. And secondly, we did diverse a lot last year, especially, and we actually make some really awesome burger buns now. So we've been supplying burger buns to a couple of burger places, and we're doing things like sourdough buns, and we're working on Kaiser rolls, and from brioche to Japanese milk buns to Kaiser rolls to working on little ciabattas. We're slowly developing our pastry side. I'm happy to say we've had some B2B clients with us for over like a year and a half. But in the middle, I've actually tried out like even working with a student at their cafeteria, supplying their food. We did that for a couple of months. I've done like fairs or even school fairs or like regular other fairs just to keep our names everywhere. But I think what works the best for us in terms of marketing and getting our name out there is doing little features with magazines, which is something I also really love, like food styling and, giving out recipes or how-tos.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, okay, so from a revenue perspective, what's the percentage breakdown from like your direct to consumer side versus B2B side?
Oh, no, our B2B side is still like my aim actually for this year was to increase our B2B side almost double what we're doing now. I'm like 70% there because starting at Jan, I'm 70% there. We're still trying to onboard some new clients. So I would say if we make, I'd say 15% of our revenue now comes from B2B. But I'm hoping to make it into 25%. I want to push it there.
Okay, nice. I mean, okay, so how can a bakery broaden their income streams once it has a good online presence?
Do things that you've asked me to do, like teach, like create content, like get your face out there and teach some more and make some more content and retarget and back. I know all of these things. I just haven't done it, but I've thought about it. Also, another one is it's actually very simple. And I've really considered this, like our systems, like our Excel systems, just sell that like to any bakery owner. So you don't, because thinking about a business takes more time than actually doing the business. So if someone's thought about it, why shouldn't I leverage that there? Baking videos are there. E-booklets, sure. All of these things will bring you some kind of passive income. YouTube channels, 100%. TikTok, go for it. Like you really need to be on TikTok. All these information is actually for me. As a digital marketer.
She says,
I
she
know.
said TikTok.
I said TikTok, dude, you need to get on TikTok to like be a creator. Like even in Bangladesh, that's how you like leverage the thousands of views in TikTok, which would never really generate into a like sale, but it can give you money from views.
No, but you'll always be top of mind. I mean, that's what TikTok right now
100%.
is for.
That, yeah.
I mean, TikTok Shop isn't here yet. So, I mean, besides that, just to stay top of mind, like, oh, I want a birthday cake for someone, like, oh, for the florist. It's like, oh, I've seen their content. Or like, it doesn't even have to be about cooking or cake content. It's just like the florist content.
Yeah.
You can just do like a content around like your staff, your employees.
Yeah.
Like daily life in life.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many content series that your team can do, which is like really low lift, low effort. But like, as soon as you put it on TikTok, you'll just be top of mind. anytime someone wants to order?
So all this time I've been doing marketing, and I was doing by myself. Or sometimes I'd hire like a team to film or something. So actually, yesterday was the first time that second time actually I onboarded a company to start managing our socials, but not our campaigns. So these are some of the things that we 100% touched on. I can't afford you. No, so I hired them for generating better content, and I want to launch a lot of things. So I think as one person, I realized the issue is that I'm one person and I might want to do too many things at the same time. So I've learned over the years to kind of like delegate. So I feel like once they take over social media and the content, then I can really refocus back where I should, which is R&D and testing more products and creating seasonal calendars, and I don't know, hopefully some mind-blowing flavors and stuff. So I really hope that all the things I just mentioned, which I really believe would help any creator get far, help your business, etc. I hope with this team I'm able to create that, because I'm really looking to obviously use, how you can leverage your own image for your own company for your growth and sales. I really believe that it's worked for me so well. It doesn't work for every company, but it can. So I want to work on those.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I mean, I will sidetrack a bit. Like the social media agency that you hired, I would already fire them. I would just hire a videographer in-house and then have
So
a
they wanted
strategist.
that.
Yeah, just 2 people. That's the first thing I would do. The second thing I would do is all of your employees, I would have like a 50 grand like loot. What I mean by that is if you make content, you get to claim like 1,000 taka from the loot box.
Okay,
You
I'll
get what
tell
I
you what
mean?
happened. Okay. So you and me, we had this conversation before, where you
Have
told
we?
me that
Paying
over a
paying the
fries
employees?
thing. No, over like getting employees to post
Just
from their socials.
and pay them.
Oh, wait. So I did tell them, and I didn't offer the pay. They were happy to do it.
And
Then
that's
one
why
guy,
no.
wait.
Yeah.
Wait, I tell you why. It's because when I first told them the idea and some of them posted, I realized that they kept posting and tagging frequently, but they were really bad content, and they still expected to get paid. So then I said,
Oh.
no, that's off the table. Like you have to do it a certain way. Anyway, even after like back and forth, it didn't really happen very well. But one young guy who started working for me in the kitchen, he was like, sounds good, I'll do it. So he starts doing it. He makes reels. Guess what? A year later,
Viral.
oh no, he's not viral. It's not that good. But like he got poached. He got poached by another company to be their head chef, and he was an assistant at mine. And we were all
He just
like,
took,
yeah, it's
I don't know what, he just took all your recipes and bounced?
no, he did not. I'm still in really good touch with him, and they do like a different kind of cake. I'll tell you the name of the company after we're out. So he's heading on kitchens. Yeah, but I'm
Good for
really
him.
no, but I'm really happy. I feel like then I told everybody else. I said, look, all this guy did was repost some videos or like post our content, and he got an offer like that.
Yeah,
He
okay,
got
right.
triple the pay. He got a triple pay, a head chef, and heading a kitchen. And I'm really happy to report he looks like he's doing really well. I'm so proud of him. When we all heard that he was hired as a head chef, we were all skeptical because we were like, he's not equipped for this. Like he needs more training. He's so young, but still, like I was when I told him, dude, like I'm just really happy that you were here with me first and la 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 la, and yeah. So I'm all I can say is for other companies trying to poach us, like you better give them triple the pay, man, because or else they're not moving.
All right.
Yeah, they're okay. They're good.
Okay, I mean, going back into like profitability.
Yeah.
No, going into profitability or never mind reinvestment. But so, how long should F&B entrepreneurs usually take to try to break even? What do you think they should
18
aim
months
for?
to 2 years should not be longer than that. 18 months to 2 years.
Right. So what if they're at 3 years and they're still not break even? What should they do?
They should look at what's not working, right? Like, I think the first impulse is usually we should close and leave. Actually, I think it's not that. Look at where you are, look at what you're doing. Something's off, 100%. I can tell if something is, I can tell if someone is slacking just by from our response from clients. So there should be some checks that you'll be able to do where you know it's not working. And sometimes it doesn't work because your product is not good enough. So I think you have to, as somebody told me a long time ago, you don't need to have the best product. You just need to have a product that you're proud of. I would say COGS is around between 27 to 29 monthly, or 23 to 29 actually. Are I would say deliveries, packaging takes a lot. Deliveries, packaging, maintenance, whatever. এগুলো সব মিলাই, you're looking at minimum around 30%. So এই 25-30 চলে গেল, এটার বাইরে then what you have salaries, you have a VAT, MAT, whatever crap. So এগুলো করলে like so once you finish all of that, you get minimum like 30%, 25 to 30% like of profit, right, per product. সব শেষ করলে, yeah. But this 25-30%, it also gets adjusted, right? Because sometimes like a client will complain and we have to, comply and give her like on the house or whatever, all these discounts, etc. So it gets set off. It's offset by all of these things. So it doesn't stay like that.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's move on to like challenges and some of the lessons learned, right? So over the past, I mean, since you've opened like over a decade ago, there've been more competition in the market. I mean, saturation point, I don't know, but maybe. So how do you keep ahead of the competition?
I think by being more professional is one. I think that's something we focus on now because everyone's really caught up, right? What are you gonna do? So you can only keep doing what you do like really well. So one is you uphold all your standards, so there's no break or slip up. Second, honestly, I still do this. I don't give in to every trend. I think trends should be analyzed. So I only ride some trends. So I totally missed the bento cake trend or the Dubai chocolate trend because I just didn't care enough. But because I thought that was, I just thought that was not our forte. Let's be honest. I thought that was not my kitchen's forte. And now there are like other little trends of like the glitter cake, the dream cake, etc. So I've done a little bits of that, but again, all these trends that I'm actually talking about, these ones originated on TikTok. So they also, I feel like they're going to fade off really soon. So I think sometimes you just have to hold on to your products, your designs, your aesthetics, and push that forward because trends come and go, but when you keep classic, timeless things, those kind of stay. So people always keep going back for those.
Right. I mean, it's okay. So you've scaled quite a bit since you've started. So as you scaled, like, did you encounter any growing pains, maintaining like consistency, with doing higher volume orders?
Yeah, so maintaining consistency in all products, having scheduled product taste tests, having different people schedule product tastes, these, and then comparing, obviously, and analyzing. All of these little checks are there, but I feel like when, especially when it comes to new competition, new companies, I've always maintained like a outlook of community over competition. But unfortunately, I've also seen like there have been people who've come in and they've tried to poach our clients. This is actually quite common, I find, on Facebook. Where people actually go on their businesses and try to poach clients. And I always think that looks so bad on you. Like it reflects so poorly on you, like how you don't see that. Another thing that I find more new bakers and companies are constantly doing is they're using AI photos or they're using Google Photos, and you can clearly tell that this photo is not yours. Like, why would you dilute your brand, yourself like that? I really, that 2 questions for new people. Don't do that.
Right. Okay. I mean, okay, this is going to be this will hit it somehow. So, what would you say has been the single biggest lesson in the past 11 years of entrepreneurship?
Um, there is no cure for human error. Like you could put any system in place, but it might all happen. So I guess A, that, and B, become a fixer. So that has helped me immensely in life and business. So it's especially like when any problem that comes up is like, why did this happen? To like, let's fix it. What can we do to fix it? So I automatically go to that. My other biggest lesson is this people trying to copy, steal, all these things people like keep saying. Other people come and tell you, oh, they've copied your. So before, I think there have been companies or people have reached out to where I'm like, excuse me, that design looks like mine. But now I'm just like, I'm at that. Actually, maybe it's after having a child where I'm just like, please, there's room for more. It's fine. It's fine. I don't. You copy. I'm flattered. I'm glad you like our work. I'm glad you thought we did something great enough for you to want to create it yourself. So I usually take that stance. And still, I think I try always maintain really good relationships with people I consider are top of my industry, and I always still, if I need to, I refer to them, I recommend to them, I share in sometimes I do share resources when needed. I think in our conversation, it's come up so many times where you're asking like someone new if they were going to start a business, what would they do? I think at the start of businesses, like right now, you learn the marketing game. B is you get all these smaller resources that would make your life easier, like account spreadsheets, other spreadsheets to help you maintain, manage businesses, your inventory, your order list, whatever. C, sort of learn how to photograph properly, like capture certain images and figure out your aesthetic. It takes a little bit of time. It takes anyone time to understand what appeals and what works for you. D, definitely start creating content and start filming. My biggest issue is I love working. I just don't like having a camera pointed to my face while I'm working because I'm working. So, and I feel like most artists feel that they're like, why do we have to film it? So it sucks that now we're in a time where we have to prove our worth and we have to film and advertise our own selves. But if that is how the world is, if these are the cards you're dealt with, how will you deal with it? That's kind of why we're here. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, definitely. Looking globally, right now, when you think of successful online bakeries globally, what comes to mind?
Actually, I am really more interested in this new growing trend of micro bakeries that's coming up everywhere. So yeah. So it's you can call it like a trad wife culture, you can call it many things, but it's very, very smart. So what micro bakeries do is they're again started from home. Some of them have like a cart, some of them have like a booth somewhere, whatever. What they do is they only focus on baking or selling their baked products once a week or like over a weekend. So that way, all the stress that comes from running a business constantly, and we think growing up the way we did that is the only way to run a bakery or a food business. Like every day clients will come, I'll make whatever. But these micro bakeries are proving stores wrong, that there is a market for very niche, very good, high quality homemade goods that you could sell from your home without stressing yourself out like you do at a restaurant. That's what micro bakeries teach us. And I think the way the world is going now, restaurants will obviously never die, but I'm just saying this rise of micro bakeries, I think it's something to watch out for, because I think that's where a lot of like truth or money or effort will get redirected. It's already happening in lots of different places. say Stockholm or places in the US and Canada, lots of places are coming up with little micro bakeries, single bakers doing everything from scratch, but dividing the work of one day of sales into 4 days, prep day, other day, package day, whatever, baking day. And it's really smart. It doesn't burn you out. It's probably the start of the new kind of entrepreneurship that you will have to see when AI has fully taken us over.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we see the same trend with chefs as well. Like everyone hosting their own dinners, they go on their
Yep.
own private dinners with their friends.
Yep.
I'm again charging for it. I mean,
Yep.
it's like supper club, like 2.0 or 3.0, like however you want to say.
Absolutely. Yep.
I mean, restaurant.
Apartment bakeries now. Did you know that? There are apartment bakeries. Like
There's apartment cafes now where
Apartment?
he just has like a high end like coffee machine so he can pump out 200 cups.
Yep.
And he just like serves his friends
Yeah.
and their friends.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a business, right?
100%.
It's just on a micro level, but it's enough to sustain yourself.
Hey, sometimes I think about my margins, like say when not as this small, not like way in the beginning, but in the middle. Like I think about my margin, like my profit margin for me. And now I have a same team and my profit margin hasn't actually increased that much, like a little bit. But, I'm happy that they're all like settled and making more. They're all making more. I'm happy. But I'm just saying, like, if I have to go back.
I mean, definitely the business model is changing. I mean, I don't know, they're definitely not an example, but like even with fine dining, we had this conversation yesterday with the number of like Michelin chefs. You see not you see a trend, but you see like some of the bigger players making a shift, like Noma. You heard of Noma? They were like number one in the world like 5 times. Michelin stars all over the place, but they shut down. I think 23. I think.
Really?
And they are just like a test. Yeah, but they're only a test kitchen now. So now what they do is they have a membership. They sell e-commerce like products, and they do pop-ups. That's all they do. They don't have a restaurant. So they do like seasonal pop-ups at like back home in Copenhagen, and like all over the world. They did Kyoto, I think, last year, and I think they're going to do LA or are doing LA, right? And that's how they're staying feasible.
Great idea. How do you get consumers from around the globe to try your food? It's a great idea.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, sustaining, and also like there isn't that much pressure on the staff that way, and like creativity. I mean, doing it seasonally makes more sense. Sure, I mean, but you should make up for the margins somewhere else. I think that's where their memberships and their direct-to-consumer products come in. Yeah, like they do sauces, they do like mushroom garums, etc., etc. But still, I mean, they're making up for it in other ways. So the business model of the restaurant is changing that way.
Yeah, agree. And I think that, going back to what new businesses can do, besides, selling their templates, the recipes, ebook, whatever, all classes, other things they can do is just sell very similar products. And that's something I've totally explored. Like it could be baking products, or it could just be baking related products like aprons and bowls, whatever, all of those things. They all feed back into this whole machine that we create. Right. So.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, okay, so looking internationally or scaling internationally, have you considered scaling the Flourist to other cities? I mean, now that you've left your home base.
Actually, I got an offer many years ago to expand it to India, Delhi, with this chef friend of mine, but I didn't take it up again because I was thinking, how will I explain my aesthetics? Now that I understand how to explain my aesthetics, I'm considering looking at a couple of different countries to explore this, because I think we have a great base, and I think it's easy to like take this model and put it anywhere now. It should technically work if the market survey says yes. Yeah, that's really it.
Right. I mean, okay, moving into like takeaways and some advice for F&B entrepreneurs for the next generation, right? So like top 3 tips. So what are your top 3 pieces of advice for someone starting an online business? No, it could be a bakery or otherwise today.
I would say before publishing or launching any page anywhere, Just go and start working on all the designs and branding you will need, starting from logo, letterhead to templates, whatever, banners, etc., video things, water stamps, whatever you need. Just have everything ready, and learn how to post. So post timings actually don't matter. It's a myth. But just like post consistently with a consistent look so that slowly in like a while later, someone who's followed you can go like, oh, this must be from that account versus, but I mean, like start get if you need everybody needs some kind of signature. So it could be through a photo, it could be through your unique logo, it could be through a unique thing you put on a cake, whatever. Focus on that. And also like try to keep something unique. And I say this for your own individuality in terms of business. So we do a couple of unique things. We make animal or dog friendly cakes and cupcakes and other cookies and other stuff. So if you have a puppy or a pet companion, we can easily make a cake that's fit just for them using very, very safe ingredients that are sourced from really the highest places I could find in Bangladesh. And I say that because I love animals so much. So I'm very particular about this. And, so we source the best peanut butter, the best honey we could do. And we create custom figures of the animals, which you only remove. But this is a very, very unique product. Like, I don't think how many people really do that. I think one other place does it. But our products look very different. So this is one, other unique products. I think that Bangladesh is slowly starting to see a market for would be like vegan stuff, like a very small line. And like we do, we have a very small vegan line. Sugar-free desserts, I think, would be great. Health beneficial desserts would be a great add-on to any new menu you're looking at, because everyone's getting fitter and wanting to lose weight. So you can never go wrong. If you ask me why we don't have that, it's because we've tried many recipes and none of them got my get-go, because I'm like, sorry, this does not taste good enough. Doesn't matter if it's sugar-free.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I mean, well, when starting a business, you need resilience. How do you handle stress and stay motivated when things get tough?
I cry a lot. I cry from time to time. Okay, that's the real.
Oh,
But no, so actually, I've cried many times, and now I don't have to cry when I'm really stressed. I'll be angry, but usually tears. It's okay to cry, okay? And all chefs cry. It's fine.
yeah,
You
I've been there.
look at your face. I know when you cry.
I mean, okay, so are there any personal habits or like mindset shifts that help you go through challenges?
Yes, a lot of it. Lists really help me because I think I think it happens to everybody, right? Lists help me, and understanding what my burnout, like where is my burnout level, that helps me. So lists kind of help me spread out my stress and the burnout level. Like I just have to keep on watch on that. Like because if you get burned out, you're out for like a couple of days while you're trying to recoup. You can't leave a business like that. And as anyone who's gone to any dinner with me will probably notice me checking my phone. I'm not sending a text. I'm seeing what the sales are. So that also happens where you can never really check out. You're always like kind of stressed at the back, or it's normal. So I think there are very small things that everyone has that kind of makes them feel like a little feel good thing. So for me, it's like if I'm really stressed, my favorite thing is to go out and pet some dogs. That calms me down.
Oh, cute.
Or like go on a walk or a run or whatever. But yeah, but then I meet some dogs and I stop.
Right. Okay. So, what skills would someone have to develop beyond baking if they wanted to make a successful business?
Oh my God, baking is just one part. What are you saying? You have to get every other skill: market, film, talk, copy, produce, package, market more, promote. Like, you have to learn everything. You can't just be a baker. Guys, if you're just a baker, join a company, okay? You don't want to do this. This is like full on.
Right. Okay. I mean, for the florist, like, what's next?
So there are a couple of little things that I've thought about, but I haven't taken a full yes to any direction yet. So I think for now, given what the economic status is of the country and given that there is an election coming up, so for now, the next year, we're going to hold strong and see what happens economically before we think of any other growth. Uh, but if all goes well, I would love to see Flourist cake mixes on shelves, because I think that should be our goal forward, where you can make premium quality products in your house without really going to the hassle of it. That is something we are working on. Yeah.
Fuck Betty Crocker.
Yeah. No. Betty Crocker. Betty Crocker. Me.
Yeah, but the local version.
Hey.
Yeah. That's the pod. I mean, where can people find you?
Oh, right. Oh,
We're good.
where can you find us? You can find us on our website, which is www.theflouristcakes.com. But go to /menu, because that's where you want to see everything. And you can find us on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook under The Flourist Cakes or The Flourist Taka, whichever you look for. We're also on Google, like every other entity. And we are also hopefully going to be on little things like Pinterest and other things, because why not? Just add more.
Okay, great.